Alright guys, welcome to ErebosGamingHD. So I think this is my fourth pro fight on the legacy mode. So I've skipped past the training bit now and I'm just going to head straight into the fight. So hopefully we get another knockout. If things continue the way they are, which I think they will do, I think I should start getting knockouts now from now on. I've got the power now in the right hand to finish the job when I'm fighting most people. And certainly once I start getting into the 10 round fights, I'm not entirely sure when that is, but when I start getting into the 10 round fights, then you can almost be assured they're going to get knocked out every time. So that's just purely because I'll have more time to actually work them down and get them into a position to knock them out. So let's see how this fight goes. So I think this guy's a bit shorter. Yes, he is. So this should be a reasonably easy fight because this guy is quite small, and I don't know if this was the same guy, but I think I fought this guy in the amateurs on this. I'm sure I fought a Hall in the amateurs, so hopefully get a bit of revenge on this guy now, knock him out. Not that he beat me before, but I just wanted to knock him out before and I couldn't, so let's see how this goes. So all I'm doing is just leading with that left hand and then coming in with the right. And I don't know if you guys actually saw what happened recently in real boxing, but the date of actually recording this, what I'm doing today, is actually the day after Tyson Fury was supposed to have been fighting Derek Chisora, and Chisora pulled out and obviously replaced with a fighter called Alexander Ustinov, which he ended up not fighting as well. So a bit of a disappointment this weekend for actual boxing. I don't know if any of you guys follow that, but it was a big disappointment. But what can you do? Hopefully there should be some more good fights coming up soon. But at the minute, the only fight that I'm thinking about is knocking this guy out, so let's do it. I just want to catch him with a good right hand and just set the pace early, get some damage done in the first couple of rounds, and then hopefully get this guy out there before too long. I mean, there's only 6 rounds, so I haven't got a load of time. But I think if I can just get him fairly weak by about round 3, finish him off round 5 or something like that, maybe. This guy seems a lot quicker. He's more of a boxer puncher than an inside fighter, I think. I can't actually remember what this guy's stats were, but he isn't being as wild as the last guy was. That's for certain. It'd be interesting to see when I come across some decent fighters, like maybe a Klitschko or maybe like a Vander Holyfield or Sonny Liston, somebody with a bit more reach and a bit more height, and see how I can handle those. Because it seems that obviously I'm choosing people that are a bit smaller than me, which helps with the fighting style that I'm using. But I will take the bigger fights and the harder fights when I get the opportunity to, and when it's worth it, when it's worth winning the ranks or whatever. Just leading with that jab and just taking full advantage of the jab. And that's all you can really hope to do, really, when you find these sorts of fights. The knockout's going to come if it's going to come. You can't force it. If you do start rushing in too much against these greatest of all time players, they will punish, and there's not a lot you can do about it. So they're really defensively sound on greatest of all time. The only time they're not defensive is when you're on the back foot and they're coming forward. Then they tend to loop the shots a little bit, and then you can land a good couple of counter shots. But when you're on the front foot and they're on the back foot, most of the time they'll just keep the defense up and let you just waste your stamina, which isn't good. Good left right there on his face. That was good. And then some more, and another one. That was like 5 punches in a reasonably quick succession there, so doing good damage for round 2. Very good damage on him. Let's go. Right. Now what I'm going to try and do when he does get quite close, what I'll do when I see the opportunity, I'll sidestep and land maybe a left right hook, and they can do good damage even if you're like a long range character like I am. When they're close, you can sometimes sidestep left, right, like that, what I just did there. You can do that, and it can land really quite effectively. Also good with multiplayer fights. Obviously, if you're playing online against people, that's also a good one to use. And it's also something that I used in the Isaac Frost video, beating Isaac Frost on greatest of all time. You see me sidestep left, right hook, and it does do good damage. Not that damage matters much on the Isaac fight, but it keeps them away from you. So yeah, people have made comments on the Isaac fight saying that it isn't greatest of all time or whatever, what it is. And like I said, I don't think it even scales with difficulty anyway, so I don't think it'd matter if I was on greatest of all time or amateur regardless. But I think if I can get greatest of all time on this mode playing on greatest of all time difficulty, which sounds quite confusing, but greatest of all time is the hardest difficulty and it's the title you get at the end of your legacy. So if I was able to do that, then I think that'd silence any critics who would think that isn't on greatest of all time, because this has got to be harder than beating Isaac Frost doing all this. Purely for the sense of how long you've got to go unbeaten. You have to have I think it's like a 95% plus win rate. You need to hold all 3 belts. You need to have had so many title defenses and have so many fights. It's a long way. I'll get champion a lot sooner than I'll get greatest of all time. Obviously winning a belt's not too difficult. It's retaining the belts and keeping it for so long, and you get mandatory fighters that you have to box against, and the mandatory fighters tend to be pretty difficult, and they're not something you can cherry pick. You can't just pick your fighters, you just got to fight whoever they throw in front of you, and sometimes they can be quite difficult, especially on this mode. So it should be quite interesting to see what happens. Now, as you can see, I am just throwing mainly the same punches, the left-rights, but in reality, it's basically what Vladimir Klitschko does, or Vitali even. They both do the same thing. They just jab straight. Even in real life, they just jab straight, and that's just basically what they do. When they get on the inside, they tie them up. Maybe throw a few short hooks, and then they're back out there jabbing again. So I'm just fighting how a real sort of long-range tall fighter should fight, and if that involves throwing a lot of jabs and a lot of straights, then so be it. I'm not prepared to lose just because I'm going for stupid shots which I don't need to be throwing. Throwing uppercuts and hooks and stuff is, it's very well now and again, but you can't be doing all fight like that. If I wanted to do that, I'd have picked a short fighter like Tyson or something. So that's the end of round 3. Now, this guy might not seem like he's taking a lot of damage, but, I'm still think I'm on target to take him out. I do think I've still got a chance of taking him out. I haven't really unloaded that much. I'm just keeping my recovery percentage up. He's recovered quite a lot there, to be fair. Health and stamina, to be honest with you, but I've got a higher stamina than him after the recovery, so should be okay. I'm winning on points comfortably. So I can start thinking about maybe trying to do a little bit more damage to this guy now. Just them jab straights, they were killer really. And this guy's quite tough really. He must have quite a reasonably good chin, because his health doesn't seem to go down a great deal when I do land clean. Unlike some of them where, they just go down an absolute crap load. I didn't need to throw that right hand there, I should have just kept on jabbing. I should be able to get him. That referee's annoying me, floating about in the background. Don't know what he's doing. That was some good damage there. More stuff like that. Left, right hook there as well. If you'll notice with me, if I throw a hook, I tend to throw the opposite as well. If I throw a left hook, I throw a right straight after it. I don't tend to just throw one. Unless obviously my stamina's pretty low. And they were some nice shots. There he goes. There we go. See, it's all. If you land maybe 4 or 5 shots in succession, and you're at this point in a fight where they're already quite damaged, and they're going to be really weak, and then it's just a case of, closing them down and finishing them off. Because you will get the stamina and the health pretty low. I'm not worrying too much about going in for the kill. I'm just going to wait for him to make a mistake like that. Maybe do another one. There you go. And when he throws, I'm just beating him to the punch and just loading up with maybe 2 or 3 punches, and then just backing away again, letting him do the same again. Okay, what's he gonna do here? Oh, I was sort of expecting him to pull his left arm back there, but it's weird with this game because all you're doing is focusing on your opponent's shoulders. I mean, that's at least what I do when I'm trying to go for the knockout. I'm just looking for their opponent's shoulders, seeing what punches are gonna come. And it tends to be like their right hand's a lot harder to see because you can't actually see their shoulder properly, so it's a bit more difficult. And there were some mental shots. And the reason why I get my jab up is so that it increases the stun chance, and if you can maybe land like 1 or 2 stunning jabs that makes him just stun on the spot, then you're giving yourself, like, look at how red his face is. If you can stun them with your jab, then you give yourself a free right hand, because you can just follow it up with the right hand and they're just standing still waiting for it. No matter what difficulty mode you're on, that'll always work, because you know the whole point of it is to stun your opponent and leave them. Not like a critical stun where their stamina goes red, but it's just one where it just makes them stand on the spot and they're just a little bit like, whoa, what the hell? And that comes with the jab. That's just a pure jab skill. See, it sort of stunned him there. You see, I hit him twice with it. The first one didn't do anything, the second one did, and it just made him stand there for a second, and he was open to a free punch. This guy's going to go down soon. Being a little bit risky, but I've only got another round after this, so even if I wasn't to get him down, I'd still have enough stamina. Oh, lovely little left hook there. Another good right hook, and he's lucky he grabbed me there. He's so lucky. Come on, jab straight. You see, and they're so good defensively when they want to be. Sometimes they're really bad, sometimes they're really good, but majority of the time they're pretty sound. They do better than most people would do in a given situation. On this mode, certainly, anyway. Left, right. Oh, he's lucky he grabbed me again there. These, I don't know, it's weird. They keep grabbing me, and you know, I say that I don't know if the AI is very smart, but they must be reasonably smart, because they do seem to know when to grab. He should be grabbing now, though, in all honesty. He doesn't want to be carried on with this, and I shouldn't have moved in there. I should have thrown a jab straight when I saw him lunging forward like that, or at least a couple of jabs. He should go. Ooh. If he'd have come forward, then he was gone. Oh, he's lucky. How the hell he survived this round, I do not know. Okay, there he goes again. I was gonna say he should have gone down before. That jab is just absolutely killer. You see how that jab just sort of snaps the head back. Really good. I don't even know if this guy will get up now, to be honest with you. He's so weak. I don't know if he'll get up. I don't think he will. No, there he is. He's gone. That's it. Quite happy with that. Knocked him out with a round to go. Not entirely sure why he only ended up getting up the one time, but who knows. This game mode is very strange. It's very strange indeed. But just in case you're unsure, once I come off this screen, I'll go onto the settings straight away and show you that it is on greatest of all time. Because obviously there'll be a lot of people who think that it might not be, but I can assure you that it is. It's just no fun if you don't play it on greatest of all time, in my opinion. So there you can see that was my 4th win. I've got 50% knockout percentage now. That should keep rising, and my rank's gone up. Everything's gone up. In all fairness, connect percentage. It's all looking pretty good there. So yeah, quite chuffed with that. And let's have a see at the settings real quick. And there you can see greatest of all time, so you know that I'm not fobbing you guys off. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. See you later.